Hey guys, welcome to Pharaoh Iron and Customs. This is going to be a bonus video. I've got some other stuff to do today on the 50, but this video is going to be, I had to make a couple of pieces to fix a shelf in the house, and I was going to fire up the forge. And this is how to light an anthracite fire. Anthracite is the coal that you would use to heat your house with. It's harder and cleaner burning than typical blacksmithing coal. A lot of smiths like to use it, a lot of smiths don't like to use it, and the reason I don't like to use it is because you have to have, I guess you have to have, well, it's not traditional, you know, yada yada yada. Traditional is using wood charcoal. Alright, the Vikings used wood charcoal, they didn't have coal. So we're not going to get into that rant. I'm going to show you how I started anthracite fire, and I'll show you a little bit of forging on these couple of pieces I have to make for the house. Alright, the first thing I do is I use wood charcoal to start anthracite fire. You can't, I mean, it's hard to start anthracite, get it hot enough with a flame. So what I do is I use my propane torch and situate it down in the fire and let it sit there and start catching up a little bit. Now on my forge I have a hand crank blower if I want to pump extra oxygen to the fire. You can't keep this fire going with this blower alone. You'll work yourself to death trying to keep it going. Like I said, anthracite doesn't like to burn without something blowing across it all the time. So I have a rig down here that I'm going to change. Now that I'm kind of doing some sheet metal work, I'm going to make a different piece rather than that cobbled up mess that I have going on there. So what I usually do is get it burning good. I turn the air on when it starts burning good. You have to be careful. Keep an eye on your torch. I have gotten the tip of that torch red hot before, which I'm sure is not good for the torch. So now you just I'm going to let that sit there and catch up a little bit, and we'll put some coal on top of it. I do need to clean this forge out. That is actually a piece of 5160. Actually, it's not 5160, it's 80 CRV2. I might make a little knife out of it. I think this is also, yeah, that's a piece of 5160. That's 80 CRV2. I need to mark that before I forget. So we're gonna let that sit there. It'll probably take about 10 minutes, and then I'll come back. Alright guys, while that forge is heating up, show you a few of the players today. I made this. That's the shape of the shelf. Hey Maggie! That's the shape of the shelf, just so I can use it to shape my clamp around. You'll see how I'm going to do that whenever I start working it. I just pulled out my 2-pound hammers, nothing special. It's just an El Cheapo Harbor Freight 2-pound hammer that I've put a rounding face on one side, and that die could be a little more round than that, and flattened the face off, took all the you know, normal hammer marks out of the face on that. This I may not use. I wanted to show you because you're gonna need a hot cut tool to cut the steel. I mean, you can cut it with a grinder, that's fine, but you know, traditional blacksmith wouldn't have had a grinder. And this is a top cut cut-off tool that I made just out of a piece of forklift fork and hardened, and you just put it on the steel and twist the steel and cut it. What I'll probably most likely use is this. Is also made out of that piece of forklift fork. Is what they call a hot cut Hardy tool, and you see there where the Pharaoh iron comes in. That's the name of my forge, Ferro Iron Works. And you just stick that in the hardy hole, and you can twist the steel and cut it with a hammer. So that's just some of the stuff. Also, this anvil I made, you can see the face is all dinged up. It needs to be resurfaced, and I've thought about hard facing it. I don't know if I will or not. It's just mild steel, but it's done what I need it to do. So the forge is coming up to temperature, and give it a couple more minutes and we'll come back. Alright guys, I got the forge up to temperature. I got this piece of 5/16 round stock in there. I'm going to get the end of it up to a yellow heat. Well, not quite a yellow heat. I mean, you want it beyond red. And the reason why we do, heat the forge is so you don't stress the steel and break it. This ain't gonna matter. We could cold bend this and I think it will be fine. But I just wanted to get out and do a little forging this morning. Put my hand back in my hammer. I've got a couple of knives to make. I'm gonna make some videos about that coming up. So anyway, other than that, let me get this piece of steel to temperature and we'll come back. Alright guys, well, if I'd grabbed the hammer that'd been good. Let's give the Maggie, you probably ought not be in here, baby. Brush the forge scale off of the steel, and it's starting to get a little cool, so we're going to go ahead and bend this. Bend it around there, bend it around there. It probably would have helped more if I'd have had something with clamps in it. Let me get this back up to temperature. It's gotten cold. Alright guys, I got that the shape I wanted. I did a heat and didn't show it. Brush some of that forge scale off. We're going to come over here and we're going to go to our hot cut hardy tool, and we're just going to roll it in the tool. Try to keep it rolling. I got a little bit off there. It's okay. You will hear me say this, and if you ever watch any of Brian Brazil's videos, he'll say the same thing. It ain't got to be perfect. If you want to make it perfect, make it perfect. So we're going to grab another heat. The problem with the light steel is the lighter gauges of steel is they don't hold their heat very long, so you have to take more heats. And if you're gonna try to be one of those guys that does stuff in one heat, you better have your stuff set up right and ready to go, because the heat ain't gonna stay in the middle. All right, we're back up to an orange, and I'm gonna come right back to where I was at on the hot cut tool and work myself right around. And right till it's ready to break off, and grab a set of, grab this set right here. No, that one ain't gonna work. Grab this set of tongs, and she'll break right off. Now, alternately, what I could have done was went ahead and flattened this portion right here that was on the end. So let me get this heated back up, and we'll get it finished up. So I'm thinking we're going to get this in one more heat after this, and what I'm going to do is just take and flatten my end down so I can give it a little shape. And you can also shape it up in the grinder. Give it a little shape, put a screw in, and it's gotten cold. Taking, if you're you can work it at a black heat when it's if you're trying to get your hammer marks out of it. So we're going to go back in the fire and make the other tab. Alright guys, I got that down and went back in the fire one more time and got it nice and cleaned up. So we're going to come back and we're just going to coat this in a coat of linseed oil. That'll give it a nice black finish. You want to do this at a black heat. Because the linseed oil will actually flare up if you try to apply it at too hot a heat. And actually this is looking pretty good. And the reason for putting the oil on this is just like coating a frying pan, like how your grandma or your ma or whatever would have coated a frying pan to protect it. Basically you want it at 400 degrees and you want to cook the oil onto the surface of your workpiece. And I had it a little hot. Now the oil's starting to turn the little hook black. And this isn't perfect. I'm going to try to make the other two a little nicer than this. We've got two more to go. But when I get done, I'll show you the finished ones. The point of this video was really to show you how to light an anthracite fire. And to show you that, you know, just because you buy a couple things at the store for a few dollars, you know, to me, spending money hasn't taught you anything except for how to spend money. It doesn't teach you how to make things. And that's what we want to learn, is how to make things and enjoy using our hands and enjoy our time in the shop making things. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, that's them made up. I didn't, of course I didn't punch the holes in. We could have done that. It would have made it took longer. It was easier for me to just go ahead and drill them out. They're not the same. They're not, you know, where they're going to be at. It's not going to matter because they're, you know, not going to be seen. You could spend all the time in the world doing this. You know, make finials, penny scrolls. Alright, the zoom was massively zoomed in on that. I forgot I had zoomed the zoom in so y'all could kind of see the anvil. I've still got to get a tripod. I have one. I have no idea where it's gotten off to. So that's going to be something for this week, is to find the tripod. And if I can't find it, I'm just going to go ahead and get a new one. The little one I had, it come in, it was broke when it came in, and it finally finished breaking the other day. So anyway, like I was saying, you can make you know, finials, penny scrolls, or make your little leaves. Maybe I'll show you how to make a leaf. I'll have to get out here and do some practicing. I found one that I had worked on last time I fired the forge up, and it looks okay. It looks okay. It could look better. So I may show y'all how to do that in a video. But like I said, I'm gonna do the forging videos. They're gonna be like bonus videos, and probably maybe some filler to make in for when I'm putting the parts in the right side of the car. Because I don't want to do a whole lot of repeated videos. But so I think that's all I had. I'm gonna go hang this up. And then after I get this done, I'm gonna start working on Sunday's video. Anyway, like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later.